Hi, my name is Jacqueline, and Maureen has been my life coach for the last 5 months now. Originally, I was seeking a life coach because I was feeling really stuck in my professional life and was looking to potentially transition to a different field. And I didn't exactly know how to do that, so I thought a life coach would be a great option for me. I have been someone who has gone to therapy for the last 3 years, so I've taken a lot of time to invest in myself, really dig deep into figuring out the root of a lot of things. And even with my time with Maureen, I have uncovered so much about myself that I had not in all my time in therapy, um, which is a really great unexpected surprise because I went into this with a mind frame of figuring out what I'm going to do professionally, but she takes the time to really get to know you and really understand what makes you tick, understand what motivates you, understand what your fears are. And during these sessions, it's just like talking to a friend that you've had for so many years. I don't ever feel like, there's that awkward relationship that can sometimes occur between a coach or a therapist and a client, but she has been absolutely amazing to talk to, and she's gone through so much where she can relate to a lot of things. Her empathy is unlike any other, and I truly enjoy my time with her because we have developed this friendship over time. It's very different than talking to one of your friends where you're just venting, because she really does point out things that you would have never really thought about before.
Hello there, and welcome to the I Never Knew podcast, also known as Inc. This show dives into the life experiences of people who have been through it all and have come through the other side stronger, better, and triumphant. Each story is raw, authentic, and at times heartbreaking. One thing joins it all together: the fact that the stories can help the listener learn and grow. Hosted by Life Coach Maureen, she sits down each episode with a new guest who will empower the listener to set out on their self-discovery journey and start to heal. Now you'll be joined by Maureen and her special guest. Please enjoy the show.
Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of I Never Knew or Inc. by Life Coach Maureen. So happy to be with everyone today, and I have a really wonderful guest today, and I really think everyone's going to learn so much. We're going to get a lot of information about medical, and I think this is really important. I was just mentioning to our guest, I think we're lacking in medical care in this country, and we could do better. And she's going to tell us in this area how we are going to do better. So today, my beautiful guest is Jeannie Buckman. And Jeannie is an exercise physiologist. Knew I was going to mess that up. National board certified health and wellness coach, among other certifications. And she is the founder of Jeannie Be Well, which I absolutely love that business name. I think it's fabulous. Her company's core values are kindness, optimism, resilience, passion, and purpose. Her mission is to help women optimize their health for healthy aging using 5 pillars of well-being. I cannot wait to hear about all of that. She also has a passion for helping other business professionals and influencers add additional streams of income. And Jeannie's story for I Never Knew, which is where we talk about struggle, we talk about heartbreak, and how we overcome and how we help others from that pain and give hope, is that Jeannie has a purpose in life, and it's to honor her daughter's memory. Her 17-year-old daughter, Paris, passed away suddenly in July of 2021. Paris had a rare cancer called neuroendocrine tumor. Part of the proceeds from her business will be donated to the neuroendocrine Tumor Research Foundation. And the money goes towards researching to find a cure, spread awareness, and improve pediatric diagnostics. So we're going to share all of that information where people can also donate, because we really want to raise funding and awareness for this. So welcome, my beautiful guest, Jeannie.
Thank you.
How are you? We had some technical issues. She was so sweet and so patient. We went back and forth between Skype and Zoom and Skype and Zoom. And you know what? When it's meant to be, it's going to work itself out. And it did.
Yeah. And we're good now.
We are so good. We are so good. So let's start off with your story and Paris's story. And tell us everything that transpired and where you are now in your healing journey, your grief, and also how we're going to use this, or how you're using this to help others.
Well, first of all, Maureen, I want to thank you for having me here. And I'm hoping to get the message out to as many people as I can regarding anxiety and panic disorder in kids. I understand that there is a mental health issue here across the country, and there's a lot of concern for kids. But I think that when you take your child to the pediatrician, the first thing they do is diagnose your child with that when they hear of symptoms, but they don't do any further testing. And granted, we went through a period where, after so much time, we ended up going to specialists, and she had labs, but it was not initial. And I feel like had we had the initial findings of the lab work showing something was wrong, we would have been on a different path today.
Yeah. It's disappointing because do you feel when it comes to pediatric diagnosing, you think they don't automatically go to the unhealthy assumption? They just assume they're healthy, and if they, they look at their ages, oh, she's 17, she's very healthy. It must be this anxiety. It must be a mental thing, because when you're 17, you don't have all of these health issues. And so how do you advocate? You know your child. How do you advocate to push that and say, I don't care what you think, doc, I want more test time. How do we do that?
The thing is with kids, as parents, you know something's wrong, and then when the doctor says, oh, well, it's anxiety, for the most part, you believe it, and especially if your child is being referred to a specialist, a psychologist, and then a psychiatrist, you're going to believe them, and so I think part of it is understanding that you should get blood work when there's something wrong in general. It doesn't have to be anxiety or panic disorder, but if something's going on with the child where you're only basing your diagnosis off of symptoms, and you haven't really gotten hard data, whether it's blood work or something going on with the heart or some type of a test, then diagnostics needs to be improved. And not only does it need to be improved, it needs to be applied. So I think part of the issue is that a lot of pediatricians, they don't even know what this is. A lot of health professionals don't know what neuroendocrine tumor cancer is. It is the rarest cancer, one of the rarest that you can see in kids. It's actually rare in adults. You don't see it until they're 50 or in their 60s. And it's such a slow-growing cancer. It can be in your body for 20, 30, 40 years. And it doesn't show up until years later. And it's very rare amongst adults. Can you imagine with kids? It's like not even thought about. They call it a zebra. You're a zebra because it's that rare. It is that rare. And cancer was the farthest thing from our minds. Even when she was in the hospital, they didn't even find the cancer until a week later. And this was after she had gone through the cancer blood screening. There's a panel they do to see if you have cancer, and that specific cancer is not on the panel. So they said twice that she did not have cancer. It was not until she had a biopsy that they discovered this rare cancer a week later. So it is very, and this was in PICU, in pediatric intensive care unit, where they're over, watching over you 24/7. They're testing you for all types of things. There's, infectious disease. There's the oncology department, the heart, like every specialist you can think of is in there trying to figure out what is going on. And to have that intense type of testing and checking for a full week, can you imagine how it would have been outpatient? I don't even think they would have found it.
No, my gosh, it would have taken months and years, really. Because if it's the specific test that they're testing for, I mean, that's like shooting, that's like a crapshoot. It's like, what ended up being on the blood work? Was it because they finally did this, the panel specifically for that? Or was there anything, because my understanding, and I've been in the medical field, and I actually worked for a laboratory, retired from recently last year, is when they run, say, a CMP, which is a comprehensive metabolic panel, that usually gives an indication that something is off in the body. There's something's going to be off. Did nothing show up in regular CBC and CMP panels?
Yes, they did. And this was. So we go in January 2020 to the doctor because I'm concerned because she had thrown up twice, two weeks in a row, meaning she threw up 1 week on one day. And I said, okay, that's, she's probably sick, getting through a virus. And the second week it happened again. And me being me, I rushed her to the doctor. That's just how I am. And it doesn't make sense. You don't throw up twice in 2 different weeks. It just no. And I took her to the doctor. My kids are fairly healthy. They rarely go to the doctor, and so when something's wrong, I take them. And when I saw her, she had a discussion with my daughter. My daughter expressed how stressful school was, how she was going through a lot of things that were going on with school, and she had a lot of anxiety. And she really thinks that the throwing up is because she just has anxiety from school. And the doctor and her talked for a good while, and she said, I'm going to refer you to our in-house, psychologist here to talk to her. And we go to see her, and she says, I think, Paris has panic disorder. I'm referring her to the psychiatrist. So all the things fell into place in order. We go to the referrals. She sees the psychiatrist, and he also agrees, and he diagnoses her and gives her prescription medication. She's seeing him for sessions. A month into taking the medication, she stops taking it, says, Mom, it's not making me feel good. I'm done with that. And I said, fine. Meanwhile, this was in the middle of COVID, by the way. We ended up going to several specialists because of things that went on with her during that year. And towards the end of 2020, she went in for a some type of heart test. It was not an EKG, the other one. I can't remember at the moment. The echo. She went for an echocardiogram. And the doctor said because she never had a murmur, she went for her physical, and the pediatrician said, you have a murmur, I'm referring you to cardiologist. The cardiologist said, it is a murmur, I'm not very concerned, I'll see her next year. Okay. So we're like, okay, this is fine. She has anxiety, now some murmur with her heart, we're just thinking something's off here. But we can't piece it together. Slowly these other symptoms start popping up. We take her to the we take her to the GI doctor, the gastroenterologist, and they said that she has because she had lost like 15 pounds in 2 months. And they said, well, she probably has some type of eating disorder, and they start working with her on her diet, and then they do a full panel. And this is like the second or third panel because her pediatrician already found iron levels were off, but it wasn't anemia, if that makes sense. So there's something going on with the liver. She said it could the iron levels were low, but she's like, I can't say that it's anemia because these other numbers aren't making sense. The pediatrician doesn't make sense to her. So the GI doctor looked at it and they said, that's weird. We're going to run another panel. And they did, and the same thing, the numbers were a little off. They improved a little bit. And they said, but it's still off. And then I said, oh, well, we have a family history of alpha thalassemia. It's like the traits and silent carrier type thing. And maybe you can check her for that because I know iron deficiency is one of the big signs there. And so they go and they throw in that test too. And they said to me, oh, she does have, she's a carrier of alpha thalassemia. And so I'm like, oh, okay, that's why. Okay, so it makes sense. Well, come to find out, months and months later when she ended up in PQ, they told me she never had anything to do with alpha thalassemia. There was no positive anything to do with that test. She wasn't a silent carrier. She didn't have the traits. There was nothing. So that was the first mistake. Then they said, we want to see how she does with her diet. And they put her on this full fat diet, butter, ice cream, milk, you name it, to kind of get some weight on her right away. And it was a Thursday. Graduation from high school was Tuesday. It's a few days before graduation, and she goes to her friend's house, and she comes back home, and her legs had swollen up, and I had taken her to emergency room, and that's how she ended up in TQ because she had edema on her legs, and that's where everything just kind of went downhill, and I want to just say that this type of cancer is something that it's silent. It's not something that's easy to pick up on. It's just like some other diseases where many of the symptoms that we have are very similar, and you can diagnose many things based on those symptoms. Anxiety, panic attacks, a rash on your skin. Like there's so many things listed to diagnose. So it's hard to say. Like I have people saying, well, my kid has anxiety and a panic attack. Should I go and check them for this cancer? Well, not so fast. Again, this cancer is very, very rare. Chances are your kid does not have it. But to be on the safe side, you should immediately ask for blood work. Just ask the doctor. Say, listen, I want to make sure that we cover all our bases, and I want to throw a lab in there. Just so that we can check it off our list and not be concerned. Because if something pops up on the labs, then you know something else is going on, and the doctor can refer your child to wherever they need to go to get tested further.
Yeah. I mean, you're right. I mean, you think about it. You were talking about, well, she had nausea and vomiting, and she had some anxiety. I'm sure when you're not feeling well, you get some anxiety too. That might have even been a part of it. Do you think? And you're right. It's such a gray area because you don't want to put your child through testing that is not necessary, but then on the other hand, you think it would be beneficial, just like we do as adults. We have colonoscopies at a certain age, we have mammograms, we have your yearly CBC blood work. Do you think it would be beneficial to make that a standard of care for children to have more extensive lab work to catch these kinds of rare things?
And that's what I've been saying. I've been sharing that with many is that I think the type of physicals that kids go for these days is just it's not enough. As adults, we go into the doctor, and not only are we getting sometimes we get EKG done, at a certain age, we get the colonoscopy, but every time we walk out of that physical, we're walking out with a lab slip. We're walking out with something else to get tested for. Why aren't kids doing that? Why aren't we doing that with our kids? I think the assumption is that because it's a child, that 9 times out of 10 that child is going to be healthy. Why waste money? Why waste money on getting tests done when most of them are healthy? Well, I look at it like this. I think we should spend the money because if we can save one child's life, to me that's more than money.
I agree. And the problem, I think with our medical system is we're always trying to fix problems rather than preventing. And prevention is the answer because it's going to cost a lot less in the long run, right? If we're preventing this stuff rather than later on, always putting the fire out per se. And this is, you did everything right. You did everything. As I'm listening to you, I'm thinking, my gosh, I would have been doing the same exact thing. We trust these doctors. We do what they think. We think they went to school for this. I'm going to say what I've learned throughout being in the medical field, now being in the mental health arena, being a parent and a grandparent, my own medical advocate. I recently just went through the same thing where I now think I just diagnosed myself, is do the research. And I know everybody says don't always go to Dr. Google, but let me tell you, you really can get a lot of information off of the internet. If you hear what your doctor says or your pediatrician says and you say something is not sitting well, so you could put in, and I have found if I put in just Googling, well, what if this test was normal, but this test wasn't normal, and these are the symptoms my child is having. It's really neat because so many people have put in the same question and something will pop up. That's unusual. And I have been finding lately, by narrowing down what my symptoms are, what the tests have come back, positive or abnormal or normal, I have been narrowing this down. I think we have to advocate for our kids, and I think we need to stop thinking that one doctor's word is everything. I think we need 2 or 3 or 4 doctors. I think we need to fight the insurance companies who don't want to pay for these additional tests that could save our children's lives. So I think it's a whole movement. And I think what you're doing to bring the awareness to this is something that we need to do across the board. I really think that would be a great movement. What could we do to spread more of this movement, more of this knowledge, and really speak up so parents have a voice?
Yeah. Well, I mean, the one thing I do want to go back, because my background also is in clinical and in health and wellness. And one thing I do want to say for the public, though, is that Google is not the answer. If you're going to go online to do some research, go to the credible sites. Go to the .govs, or the medical publications. Find facts. Because there's a lot of stuff on Google that can be incorrect, and I know people take these this information and they go extreme with it, and some people can differentiate what something is factual when it's not, and others will just take things for what it is. They'll take the word of whatever Google says. So I definitely want to reiterate that yes, you can go online, but go to the actual medical publications, go to the .gov sites. Those are the credible things to look for. And look at the research. Look at the research, how many people have been studied, how many research studies are there, and then you can kind of take what you extracted from that and then talk to your doctor. You want to kind of tell them, this is what I found, and even if you print it out, they will then be more open-minded to talk to you about it if you bring them research. But if you just say, I Googled it, they're just going to shut down.
No, I'm so glad you clarified. I'm so glad you clarified that. And I'm not like a WebMD fan or anything. What I found, you're absolutely right, is if I put in the symptoms or I put in, you know, this test was negative, but I have these symptoms. What I found right is it would bring me to John Hopkins University. It would bring me to the Mayo site. So I'm really happy that you clarified that. Sorry guys, don't go by Uncle John's sister's boyfriend's mom who said I had these symptoms and I died the next day. I totally agree with you. What's neat about the internet in that aspect is it does bring you to some of these medical articles that are rare. It's one doctor who did this study who found this from this patient, and it's more common than it was thought to be when they're doing more research on it. So thank you so much for clarifying.
And I totally agree with you. You should educate yourself. Educate yourself, and the benefit of having this access online is you can pretty much get anything. but just make sure it's credible, because I want anyone who's listening to understand that if you go the route of getting the facts, you'll have a better answer in the end. Versus if you get this misinformation, you're going to be all over the place, and you're not going to be closer to the answer you need.
Yeah. And it's the time too. The frustration when I hear your story, that's heartbreaking for me is, time is precious when you have a cancer, and especially childhood cancer, because they can be so aggressive. This one was supposed to be slow moving, but if you would have had a little more time, they would have discovered it. What more? What would have been the cure for this? Would they have been able to do the chemo or radiation? What would have been the cure if there was more time?
Yeah, a little bit about this cancer. This is not in the same category as most cancers, because it impacts the endocrine system. It impacts your hormones in the body. So your serotonin can be really high, 500 times where it should be. We're talking about your hormones being impacted in your body, and as you know, coming from a medical background. Your hormones actually control every system in your body. So if your hormones are out of whack, it impacts everything, and everything has an impact on each other. Your body functions as one, and when one system shuts down, it impacts everything else. And so there is what they have something they give a drug to basically what it does is it shuts down, not shut down, I wouldn't say shut down, but it drastically decreases the hormones that the tumors release into the body. Okay. Because these tumors, they release hormones. And we kind of like shut it down in a way. It's still releasing them, but not at a very high level. And so that's what that medication does. There's several types of those medications that you give. There's like a few different types, but it's pretty much the same. It does the same thing. They have other treatments where you can, I think it's like some type of laser or whatever that goes straight to the tumor and shuts it down. There's people that actually have the tumors, and because it's inactive, it's okay. As long as it stays inactive. But as soon as it gets into active, it can start spreading. And so hers had spread. She had it in the small intestine. It spread to the liver, and it also spread to the lymph node in the back of the small intestine, and then it impacted her heart. which cause right heart failure. So it can be disastrous if it's not caught. And I think there's like what you have to understand is there's different parts that it impacts, just like other cancers. You can get cancer of the pancreas, cancer anywhere really. But this specific cancer, interestingly, Steve Jobs had it, and so I know people say, well, he died of pancreatic cancer. Well, no, it wasn't in the pancreas, but he actually passed from NET. We call it NET, neuroendocrine tumor. He had NET, and so did Aretha Franklin. And so we have a lot of celebrities. Patrick Swayze, a lot of celebrities passed from this cancer, and that's what I think is kind of sad. That at that level, at that stardom, their family, or even when they had it, why didn't they talk about it? And to me, this is something important to kind of spread, and they have more. They have more pull, as far as getting the word out there and making sure people understand what it is. But it's surprising, really.
Yeah, it really is. And when you say, those celebrities, and you look at the age ranges too. This is not something that just when a lot of doctors think, oh, when you're 70 and over, you're expected to start having this stuff. But you're looking at these age ranges. This is affecting everyone at every age. And I was thinking, at 17, when you hit puberty, that's really when your endocrine system is ramping up. So you think about for parents. The release of the hormones, I would imagine, would increase they probably did that speed up the spreading of it, because that's that age where, all the endocrine system ramps up. That's when all those hormones production increases. So it's interesting. I love that you said that about Steve Jobs. I love that you said that about Aretha Franklin. We're looking at this widespread thing that there needs to be more testing for and more, because if you see when Steve Jobs got diagnosed, it wasn't until it was stage 4, stage 3. That's the thing is it's not being caught soon enough. So I think preventative care. Have you thought of reaching out to the celebrities and asking them to help you with the movement?
So one thing I do want to say about Steve Jobs is that they actually caught it early, and they had they wanted him to have treatment, but he did not want to. He went on the fruit diet and everything else.
I saw that yesterday. He wanted to try homeopathic first, and by the time that didn't work, I did see that yesterday on Facebook. Didn't know if it was true or not. Thank you for
and nothing to laugh about. I mean, it's really not funny, but I just think that I always try to find humor in things, and the humor in this is that you see there's a solution for you, like there's something that could be resolved rather quickly, but you decide to go the homeopathic way when this is like life threatening. I'm all about homeopathic. I am a health and wellness coach. I believe in preventative care. I don't like invasive treatments. I don't like medications. However, they have their place. When you have cancer, you got to go down that path. Like homeopathic to me is fine for preventative, but if you have an illness like cancer, you probably need to get you need to listen to the doctors and get what you need in your system to get rid of it, because they're oncologists. They see patient after patient with this stuff.
There's just some things that need chemical intervention. It's where we are in our medical care. And I am completely on board with you on that. I love the natural path, I love the healthy, I love the mental health that also helps your physical health. But you're right, there are times when we get to a certain point and there's a reason that we need to have that more intervention, because in the big picture, we all bring gifts to this world, and the medical community has these gifts that they have done the research and scientists to do this. So what would you What would you say? So how long between when you finally got this diagnosis and when Paris transitioned from us?
It was 7 weeks, and she was released from the hospital, and we had appointments lined up for her a couple days later, and like nobody thought this would happen. You know, it was very sudden. It was the evening nurse came to check on her at home, and she was fine. So it was very sudden. They were in shock. The doctors were all in shock. They don't know what happened or how it happened. You know, when they released her, she was fine. Like she wasn't healthy because but she was good enough to be released from the hospital to be home. At least that's what they thought. And she had a long road ahead of her. But she had everything she needed to come home.
Did your gut say anything to you? Did you have any kind of feeling that something was still not right, or because I think mother's intuition is so strong. I'm just curious to see if there was any moment where you thought, I'm not sure.
Well, I did mention to the cardiologist when he came to visit, because when she was on day of, on the day that you get released from the hospital, it's your discharge day, you have everyone coming in to see you. And it was like a zoo, it's people coming in constantly, checking on her, talking to us, and it was very busy. The nurse was showing me how to give medication. She put it in the medication thing for me, to plan it out. So it's a lot of work, a lot of action going on that day. But I do remember the cardiologist walking in, and I said to him, I said her her left arm had been swollen during these weeks because they put in this PICC line that goes to the heart. And it was she had to get a replacement done, and then she had through all of the needle holes and stuff, she had gotten a blood clot, and she was on medication for the blood clot on her left arm, but it was fine, and it had gone down, but that day, like, her arm and her hand were swollen, and I said to the doctor, her hand is really swollen, and I had not seen it that swollen for a while. And he looked at her hand and he said, yeah, it's from the blood clot. And I'm thinking, that's it? That's not really concerning? And then he stood, the front entrance of the room and had her stand from the chair to walk towards him. And she could barely walk. She was, hunched over. Well, she had not been able to walk very well because of all the fluid that built up. From the cancer, and he seemed okay, with it, and that was kind of it. We were just. It didn't occur to me that they would make a mistake in releasing her because they knew how sick she had been. They knew all the medications she was on, and they seemed very thorough. It was like a full team of doctors. And they all came to the final decision that, because they kept saying, we're not sending her home, we're not sending her home, because she's still running a fever, because she had gotten an infection, and then she was on 3 different antibiotics. And they kept saying she's not going home, and then 3 days before, or a few days before, they said, oh, she's free. She's doing well, and as long as she stays like this, she's going to be coming home on Wednesday. Well, she stayed like that, and they released her Wednesday, and it was, I have to just say, it was very sudden. I don't think anyone really expected that or suspected anything. All I do know, Paris probably knew, within her, like she didn't know, like consciously, but subconsciously she knew because she had called, the nurse called me one day, it was a Monday, and Wednesday she was being released. Well, they called me on Monday, and they said, Paris, Paris didn't sleep well last night. She had a nightmare, and then she came on the phone, and she says, Mommy, I had a really bad dream last night that I went home, and then I fell asleep, and I never woke up.
Wow.
And I said, Paris, honey, you're just nervous about coming home and being sick and stuff, but don't worry, we're going to take care of you. And that's it, because I just thought it was her anxiety, like, acting up, and she was just scared. I didn't think that it was actually more than that.
Yeah. And I mean that's a very real fear of you're in this hospital and you're being taken care of 24/7, and that fear sort of not that she can trust her mom and her family, but that fear of what's going to happen when I go home, because I remember before when in the hospital how bad I felt. Mm-hmm. No one can possibly, no one can sit in front of you and say they know how this feels. There's no way to ever say you can feel someone's experience the way that they do. And I would never even offer that or pretend. But I am so touched by you. I'm so touched by Paris. I'm so touched by your journey and how you're helping others. Tell me the beautiful things that Paris is and was as a soul. Tell us the beauty that Paris is leaving with us.
She loved dancing.
Dancer. I'm so sorry.
I can't.
You're making me cry.
She loved dancing, and she was a good person, and she shared with others. She helped others. I mean, she had such good friends, and they still love her, and they still come by to visit, and they still visit her. And she impacted people deeply. She had a beautiful smile. She was smart. And she was going to go to University of Maryland, Baltimore County for she was in the honors college. And she was going to go into math, major math. And she was a great writer. The story she wrote didn't even... You would read it, and it didn't sound like it was coming from a kid. It was like a really good read. And she was sweet, generous, and she was really a good person. Like, she was a good kid. Like, I didn't have any issues with her. For the most part, she was so good. She did all her schoolwork. She'd help out. She cared about others. She was, everything. She's my only daughter, so.
She is such a beautiful soul, and she's with you. She's absolutely with you. So her legacy, you're helping live on, and I don't know, I just kind of got a feeling that you need to write her story. She says, I'm a medium, so I communicate with your spirit team. And she says, really what I'm hearing transpire is write my story, Mom. You are the only one that can write her story. And she was the writer, but you're the voice now. So I think you can really continue this legacy and the beauty that you're doing to bring this awareness. So I'm just so... I'm so grateful to you, and I'm so touched that you would give us your time and share her story with us. And let's make a difference in this world for Paris. Let's make a difference so we save more people. And I'm not going to say children, it's everybody. This affects everybody. So tell us where everyone hearing your story today, all of our listeners, can go donate. They can go be a part of raising money and awareness for this cause.
So the Neuroendocrine Tumor Research Foundation, we have partnered with them to raise $50,000 in honor of Paris. And it's the Everlasting Fund that we has the Everlasting Tribute Fund to Paris Buckman. There's a link that I shared with you, Maureen. And if you go there, you can donate. They use the money. They give the money to scientists, researchers across the world. Actually, it's not just the country, around the world. And we specifically requested that they give the money we raised for Paris's fund to researchers that are specific to pediatrics and to raise awareness to pediatric doctors and to the community. So and we're actively working with them as well to see what else we can do in our community to make doctors aware as well. Because again, there needs to be more testing and more awareness.
Yeah, definitely. And I will include all of those links listeners for you to go in there and you donate to that Everlasting Tribute Paris. And also, you can also go to your website, right? It's for October 1st, and then they can see all the information on there. Okay, perfect. So we will be sure that we will include all of that. Guys, I really think this is such a wonderful cause, and it takes special people in this life to have to suffer the pain. And when you're strong enough to go through the pain to help others, to me, I put you up there in a really high pedestal because your willingness to share your daughter's story and share your daughter, the loss of your daughter with us is something that you bring for everyone. And it's just such a beautiful thing. And I just want to hug you so bad. We're on opposite ends of the country, but I'm virtually hugging you, and I cannot say enough how much I appreciate the story. And I feel Paris. Like I have goosebumps because I feel her with us today. So I'm gonna end this on what I always ask, which is what is one thing that you know now that you never knew before that helped someone who's in any part of where your story was?
One thing I have learned, I remember we were in the hospital and a pastor came in, or a chaplain came in, and we just panicked, and he said, oh no, I'm here, for support, and I looked at it as she's not dying yet, like, relax, like, it didn't like it, she didn't like it either, and she says to him, just so we're clear, I'm a very, very spiritual person, and I believe that there's something higher than us, but I'm not religious. And I said, that's right. Me too, Paris. Yeah. And I have learned so much about the spiritual world. I have read so many books. I've started meditating so I can connect more with myself at a spiritual level. So spirituality has been something that I never really delved into before until this happened.
Yeah, it's amazing how much bigger our expansion and our horizon of the things that you don't think you needed to know, and suddenly you know them, and it all fits in now, right? Pieces fit in a little bit better now. And the knowing there's no finality. She's not gone. She's just not here where I can see her. She's with you every minute of every day. What beautiful signs. I always ask everyone this. I know when I do readings with people that your loved ones are always sending signs. What signs has Paris sent to you? Have you seen any?
No, my husband, I think he has some of this he's sensitive, and she talks to him, But I don't, maybe my dreams, I've had her come in my dreams a few times.
Yeah.
But I don't get signs like others say. Like I don't get the birds and the butterflies and those types of things. But I'm a very analytical person, which is something I've had to work hard on detaching from. I have gotten maybe three readings in a row last year after this all happened. And my husband said, is your purpose for these readings to connect with her, or is it to prove that there's an afterlife? And I was looking for proof because I'm analytic. Yeah. And I it's very difficult.
That's a great way of saying that, though, because a lot of people go that same way, like without me seeing physical proof of it. And that's what faith is, believing what you cannot see. And we're not talking religion, we're talking just faith in something that's a higher power, and that our love will never leave us, and that our teams are around us at all times. And it wasn't until I understood and trust me, I was not seeking to do anything with mediumship. It was completely accidental through when I started life coaching. And to be able to give those messages to people, and they understand that it continues and that they see everything that you're doing. And so we're going to explore that because I feel like I could do a reading with you for sure, because I think Paris definitely has some things. But I love that you're honest with yourself. You're honest that you know what? I don't quite know if I'm there yet. I don't know if there's signs. And there are signs. Just you're not supposed to be where you're yet. You're just not ready yet. And a lot of it, what people understand is clearing out grief. It doesn't mean you're ever going to not more having her here and miss her. It's just clearing out the grief that holds you back from seeing the things that you really want to see in the world spiritually. So it is definitely a process, and it's only been 1 year. So there's no timeline. There's no timeline, but we know that she's with us, and we know that you're doing something so beautiful with her legacy, and it is an everlasting tribute to Paris from here until you guys get together once again. And whatever I can do to spread the word, I just thank you. And we're gonna raise some money for our parents. We're gonna raise money for this purpose because it is not for naught that you experience this. Paris gave us the gift of the awareness of this, where there wouldn't have been otherwise. So we're gonna save some lives. We're gonna get this out there. So Jeannie, I am so grateful to you.
Thanks so much, Maureen.
Technology problems when it is meant to be, it is meant to be, and this is such a beautiful and deep conversation, and I have so much gratitude for you. So thank you, my mom. Stay in contact, my friend, and anything that we can do, anything my listeners do, you just let me know, and we'll be sure to support you, okay?
Okay, great. Thank you.
Thank you, my dear. Have a wonderful day.
You too. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you for tuning in to the I Never Knew podcast. If you found today's episode inspiring and educational, please be sure to follow, subscribe, and spread the word. The more people that join the Ink community, the more it can develop and influence others as we work together for a healthier and brighter future. Until next time.